All right, DC, thanks for holding. Go.
Great day, Kevin, man.
What's up, DC?
The callers today been on point, whether it's opposed or, but I want to answer all of those questions. We drafted our quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years last year with our first round draft pick. He was the best quarterback in that draft, and he's arguably top 2 quarterbacks in the league, or 3 quarterbacks in the league. This year, we drafted someone that can protect him the whole time he's here, and he's ready to win now because he made it to the NFC Championship. So we got a left tackle to protect him right now. So how can you say the organization is making bad choices or bad picks when we know the Hogs is what led us to our championship, and we also know that the guy is ready to win now. So why would you wait to protect him when he's doing as much as he can with less of a line? What is he going to do with a line that is helping him?
Well, I'm with you on this, but I think the playing devil's advocate, it would be you basically were unstoppable offensively last year with the line that you had. And they were at times unstoppable, but your issue was defensively, you couldn't get off the field enough. You couldn't stop the run. And ultimately in games against Philadelphia, you got beat up at the line of scrimmage. They got beat up at the line of scrimmage against Dallas. Both games, they got beat up at the line of scrimmage against New Orleans. That would be devil's advocate, but I'm for best player available. They clearly felt this guy was best player available. And the net takeaway is, you got a guy that is going to fill a position that you probably felt like you needed filled because Coleman's more of a guard, as he was for much of the time at TCU, and you're investing in protecting the number one asset in your organization, Jaden Daniels. I can't complain about it either.
We still have the second round to pick up a DN, and there's plenty of DNs left. Like half the DNs that we talked about, and I love that you did, Kevin, I do want to give you a credit. You did say, don't be surprised if we draft an O-lineman last week. I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday or whatnot, but we drafted the O-lineman that no one thought of, but it's who the coach wanted, who the GM agreed with. And the first thing I looked at after he was drafted was his RAS, because I've been hearing the RAS score, and they think highly of that. And then he only gave up 3 sacks in 1,000 snaps. Man, we got
Gave
one.
up no pressures against Abdul Carter in the Big Ten title game. Pretty impressive.
Come on, Kevin. Let's go. Time to get back to the Hogs, man.
Good job.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Alex in Silver Spring. Alex, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for holding, Alex.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Max, thanks for throwing me in the queue. When you were staying up late watching videos, did you see Mike Green dog walking him at the Senior Bowl? I'm sure you did. We could have had him led the nation in sacks, or Donovan Ezeraku only half a sack lower. I appreciate Ian and Gary's call. I will ease up on Peters here a little bit. I do think I did not like Johnny Newton initially when we drafted him. I was screaming and shouting like I was last night. He looks good. Mikey Sanders still. Saban said he was the best pound-for-pound player in the draft. That's unquestionable. I think Luke McCaffrey will be a very competent slot. I like Jordan Maggie. I love Dom Hampton. No one's talking about Jean Baptiste in the 7th round out of Notre Dame.
I know they like him.
I like him a lot. I know you talk about him a lot. But, Kevin, everyone fell on their face. First play from scrimmage, NFC Championship, Saquon Barkley to the house. Does Josh Conerly Jr. play defense? Is he going to stop the Eagles from putting up 55 points on us? I like how everyone calls in. They want to talk about their football knowledge and say, oh, let the football guys. Yeah, I understand. That goes without saying. These guys' jobs are to pick football players. We don't need to say that over and over and have that stated. I'm giving Peters the benefit of the doubt. I thought beyond reproach was a little too much. However, I'm benefit of the doubt. Stopping Saquon Barkley. It's not stopping Saquon Barkley. You didn't go Nicky Manwari, Maxwell Harrison. There were so many defensive players, even Will Johnson. You could have made up for not drafting Christian Gonzalez in 2022, which made me want to find Ron Rivera in public and berate him. But the point is this team, Lattimore, and no one's talking about this. The last thing I'll say before I say I want to do tonight, all the assets we gave up for Laramie Tunsil, and you turn around and you draft this guy at the end of the first round. He wasn't the best player available. You'll have Linnell on in 2 minutes here. I talked to Linnell last night. He liked Josh Simmons out of Ohio State more. So he clearly wasn't the best player available. And tonight, as far as I'm concerned,
because Linnell liked Josh Simmons more than Conerly Jr. I'm supposed to say, well, clearly he wasn't the best. Conerly wasn't the best player available on an offensive line analysis. Come on.
Is he going to? If Cosme was even injured, would he even have been the pick? I understand offensive line depth and rotations are important. I understand they're important. That's fine.
And by the way, nobody took Mike Green. Nobody took Mike Green. Nobody took Will Johnson in the first round. Why do you think that was?
Because we all know what happened with Mike Green in high school and college. He is not.
We don't know what was uncovered through the due diligence about Mike Green at Marshall. Clearly, that guy, the talent he had, something is not right. And Will Johnson,
Ezeraku is a commander, and he's going to be gone.
You just talked about Saquon Barkley and stopping the run. Ezeraku's 245 pounds. He's a pass rusher. He's not a run stopper.
Turn on the tape. Turn on the tape.
I did turn on the tape. I love Ezeraku as a pass rusher. He's 245. He wouldn't play for you on first down.
That's fine. He's just as heavy as Micah Parsons, only an inch shorter. I just he
plays a different position in many ways. They wouldn't move Ezeraku around like they moved Micah Parsons around.
Okay, and they enjoy watching the Eagles lift the Lombardi again.
They've got opportunities tonight to help their defense. I am with you on, I want more defense. I want them to be better on defense. I'm not with you on saying that there's no chance on their board that Josh Conerly was the best player available, because I think he was. And I have
Cliff left a note on the desk. That's why he was taken, because Cliff left a note on the desk.
Oh, come on. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that, Alex? You think Kingsbury walked in and said, please, left tackle, and all of a sudden it was, the scouts and the front office, and you had, you had Adam Peters saying, oh, my God, hadn't thought of him, but Cliff wants him. Let's do it. You're out of your mind. Well, I can tell you right now, the organization loved the player. I didn't know it.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. He won't stop.
No, you just said Kingsbury loved the player, and that's what got him got him drafted last night. I got to roll. I want to get two calls in here real quickly.
All right, Kevin,
let's go to. Thanks for the call, Rob in DC. Rob, go ahead.
What's good, Kevin? I'm gonna go ahead and defend you real quick. Look, I know a lot of guys are tripping, but I do watch a bunch of film. I actually work with a sports agency. So what you get with Josh Conerly, you're getting a blue chip caliber tackle. This guy was an All-American in high school. He was the number 3 tackle in the nation. Went to Oregon on a stacked O-line. Played with Bo Nix. He's played a lot of football.
Yep.
And when you look at what we have and where we're going, we don't have time to go through with prospects. We need short things, and this was a short pick. It was a safe pick, a short pick, and you never can have too many linemen. One of the biggest issues he has, he needs to play bigger. He needs to play heavier. Who better to learn that from than Laremy Tunsil? So basically, you think about, you got Laremy Tunsil for 2 or 3 years. You're basically doing the same thing Green Bay does with quarterbacks. When Tunsil leaves, you have somebody to slide in and be your stalwart left tackle. The crazy thing about it all, everybody's talking this. The only thing that was logical other than drafting the offensive tackle yesterday was the trade back. I mean, you look at the positions that was there. Maybe you could take the safety out of South Carolina. But guys, like you said, Mike Green fell for a reason. There's a reason why Mike Green fell. And you look at the depth that they have on the defensive players. The board is still stacked with a bunch of defensive players for today and tomorrow.
Sure.
And myself personally, I'm trading back. Even today, I'm trading back. I'm trying to get as many picks as possible because the board is still stacked. And outside of that, I do have this a random question for you. And this is because I've been hearing you talk about this for 2 or 3 weeks. Everyone keeps comparing Genty to all these great running backs. I heard the blasphemous comment of comparing him to Emmett yesterday. Why isn't nobody saying what I see? This man
who yesterday? Who did I compare him to?
Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith.
I didn't compare him to Emmitt Smith.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I think it was not Mel Kiper. It was who the hell was on? I forgot who it was. But But I know
by the way,
I see
in
Trent.
thinking about it, it's not a terrible comparison in terms of style, in terms of the
Oh,
balance
you're
that
crazy.
he has.
You're crazy. He's Trent Richardson. That's who he is. That's not he's going to have the same career as Trent Richardson. He's Trent Richardson. He's literally Trent Richardson. That's who he is.
He's not Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson wasn't that height, was he?
Yes,
wasn't
he
Trent
is.
Richardson
5'9".
He was 5'9". I like Genty a lot. I like Genty a lot. In fact, the comp I gave in terms of the real positive rose-colored glasses comp is LT. I think Danian Tomlinson in the build and the style of play is similar.
Oh no, that's crazy, Cap. That's crazy.
Okay, but where were you going with this? Sorry.
Oh yeah, so that was what I'm saying as far as evaluation and stuff like that. We are in a solid spot, in a solid position today to trade back and get more depth. I do like Mason Taylor as well, coming out the tight end out of LSU. But I mean, honestly, we are playing with house money right now. We got the quarterback. So everything else is just an addition to what we're building out. I mean, our defense does need to get worked on. We could use corners.
But remember, and I got to run. I got to get to a break. But house money is different than a much better position than we've ever been in, because Kansas City's got arguably the greatest quarterback of this generation, and will go down as one of the all-time greats. And they need more up front to win. They probably need another playmaker to win, even with Patrick Mahomes.